There we go, guys. Good morning. Happy Friday. Namaste. God bless. How are all crooked you? I'm crooked, man. I gotta fix my thing here. Good morning, guys. Happy Friday. And the vampire's up again. Yeah. Oh boy. A lot has happened in the past couple of weeks with the work scenario thing, but I'm all for the good. All for the good. I've had to go back into the trenches per se, from the leadership role or co-leadership role that I share with someone, back down to the whole of the actual components and the mixing part. And if any of you guys know me on a personal level, you know that my passion is baking and fixing cameras. But at the same time, getting back there brought this great thought I had the other day. And you guys know I've been working a lot of hours, literally. I mean, not like you guys aren't either. I mean, we all work a lot. But I think I was hitting my 12th hour the other day. And I think it was Wednesday. And I kept saying to myself, if I can only just adjust the recipe a little bit, it'll make it go faster. If I can change it a little bit, it'll make it go faster. But in the back of my mind, I knew that if I changed what was already set up with the product, it's not going to come out the same. And life is the same way for us. Literally, there's a certain recipe per se. That's what I wanted to get to. There's a recipe lined up for us that if we just use it every day and don't deviate from that, you're gonna realize that things are gonna start aligning correctly in your life. And alignment now is a big thing online. And people think, oh, if I just align this thought or this feeling one way, or it's gonna come out other. There's basically three components, but I'll get to that in the quote of the day. But getting back to what I was doing, I kept seeing in the back of my mind my mentor when I was going through this the other day. And if you guys know that you're getting late in the day and you want to get things done, you want to take shortcuts per se. In baking, you can't do that. And actually with anything, you really can't do that, because there's certain protocol and procedure set up specifically for that. And baking is much more powerful because there's actual chemical components involved. And some of these components per recipe are like 7, 8, 10. And if you miss one, it's not going to come out the same. And life is the same for us. You miss a certain component in this recipe I'm going to share with you guys, or divulge that you've already known. But if you learn how to use it, you're going to come out with basically the same perfection of life every single day for yourself. It's going to align hence for you. And getting back to that, I kept thinking of my mentor, who was at the time 75, from Germany, and this is back in the 90s, so God bless him if he's still here. But this guy was a horse. I mean, barely spoke English. The only thing I knew was 9, and that's what I kept learning was 9, because I was doing everything wrong. If something came out, something didn't come out the right way, I would say, what happened? He goes, 9. You didn't follow the bag. You didn't follow the recipe that is given and already set up for you. He said, it's right there, meatball. He goes, figure it out. And I would duck his hand as he would gradually go to smack the back of my head. And sometimes we need a couple smacks in the back of the head to realize that, yes, there is a way to the promised land per se, and in our mindset, that if we keep doing it, we keep setting it up and using these three components. There's only 3 components. It's really simple. It's really, really simple, but it's us thinking that we can get around everything and we can take shortcuts. And I get it, the experiences and all these things happen in life. I get it. I get the whole scenario because I tried taking shortcuts. I tried using one component, not realizing the other one was involved. But I'm going to get right to the quote of the day, because I am very slow when it comes to realizing this was an actual joke, but it's a powerful understanding of life. I'll get right to the quote box, guys. Never blame someone else for the road you're on. That's your own asphalt. And here I am thinking, I didn't get that. I didn't get the funny with it. Here I am thinking of a road, but that's your own asphalt. Indeed, it's our own choices. It's our own choice. We're trying to get aligned with what we want in life. We're trying to bring what we truly desire in life. Yes, we're using maybe 1 or 2 of these components, but alignment is an arrangement of forces in relation to one another. Hence the law of attraction, like attracts like. You can't give a partial to the law of attraction and expect full results. You can't give a couple and expect full results. You got to be in it with your whole heart. Next word is reaction. From the alignment, you get the reaction in life. Before I divulge the 3, a reaction is a response to some treatment, situation, and or stimulus. And with my career that's spanning what, 38 years now, I think it is. Reaction is all those components put together exactly to where they're supposed to be. That's where the white coats came in, Meatball. I guess we got prettier white coats in my field compared to the scientists that actually created these products, or hence nature already set up for us. We just put them in the right way. A response to some treatment, whatever treatment of life you're giving every day, or situation, or stimulus of thought is going to get that reaction from the alignment that you're giving out every single day. And from those two, you go into what Abraham Hicks calls the vortex. The vortex basically is a whirlpool. But what's in the center of the whirlpool? It's an endless circle, if you ever notice. That's where all the power is. It's like a hurricane, the eye of a hurricane, or a tornado. In the center is where all the power is. And that's what our thoughts are. And if we put these three components together into that vortex of thought, it gets stronger. You go from an F1 to an F5, or a Cat 1 to a Cat 5 in your life, because you start attracting all the right things to you in scenarios, circumstances, and events. And those three things have been around since forever. I mean, they call it the Holy Trinity. And a lot of you guys may not know. You might know the Holy Trinity from the Catholic religion, or theologians, or mystics, or whatever it might be. But it's all the same. And they've used different variables throughout the millennia to explain to people their way and their belief of it. But it's really simple. It could be mind, body, spirit, ether, matter, and antimatter, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, physical, non-physical, and the metaphysical. And there's many more that go out there. And these three components is basically our power tool, our creation machine. This is what I had to figure out back in the old 12 by 12 man. I was giving part of the mind, but not feeling it in the body, and not feeling it in the spirit, and wonder why things didn't happen in my life the way it wanted to, or I wanted to. And when you realize these three components, that's why they call it the Holy Trinity. It's your creation machine. It's who we are. It's the recipe for whatever you want in life. To align your mind, your body, and your spirit to what you want is going to start the process of manifestation of that. And you're already doing it, but inadvertently doing it to create what you don't want. If you really think about it, if your mind is not ease, they call that disease. It's going to manifest into the physical form. But if you realize how powerful you are, you'll be like I was the other day on my 12th hour, thinking I can get past the recipe, when it's going to manifest if I take shortcuts the wrong way. It's just something for you guys to think about, because when you set up your mind one way, your body the same way, and your spirit, your inner soul, the way you want to bring it to life, and you keep doing that, you get a consistent product, which is called life, which is called reality. If you guys ever notice, or you walk into a store or your favorite bakery, if they're even still around anymore, you'll see the same product the same way every time. And if you go in there another time and you see it baked differently, or a little larger, a little smaller, that's basically a meatball in the back there saying, I'm going to change the recipe a little bit, and hence a different result. You follow the mind, body, and spirit in your everyday thinking, acting, and being. You can only create from that. You become in what they call real alignment, because you've aligned the three basic parts. We're basically three-dimensional. We're one part, and one part, all lined up. And if you line them all up, you'll stop having these fits and starts of your life that are going like a heartbeat every single day. And when you realize that, you realize where you're going. You'll realize that life is nothing more than you combining the power tool, learning how to use the power tool, implementing how it's supposed to be used on a daily basis consistently, and watch the results you're going to get. But a lot of us are living in a mind one way, feeling it in our body another way, and believing it in spirit another way. And they wonder why things are kind of getting off balance. So it's imperative that you balance your power tool. You give it a good power source of thought. You give it a good power source of good food that you're eating. You give it a good power source of spirit, your spirituality, your belief in yourself. And if you keep doing that every day, following it with your desires, adding more passion to it, adding more abundance in yourself and gratitude in your life, guys, the power tool gets active. You don't even need to recharge that bitch anymore. You'll start to realize who you are as a person. And when you realize the true effect from that, that's basically cause and effect in action. Never blame someone else for the road you're on. You can't. It's part of your own creation. And the forces out there are just matched with your mind, body, and spirit to bring that to you. That's why they say that's your own asphalt. And I'm just a little late in believing that, guys. But I have to get to work, guys. So think about it for yourself. If you analyze your mind, analyze your body, analyze your spirit, and realize if you do, you're doing exactly, the results in your life right now is just a resemblance of your mind and your body and spirit in action. And you can't hide. You can't hide, Meatball. You can't hide from who you are on the inside and not expect the outside world to see it. And people, you know, a lot of people, yeah, are awake, but a lot of people are actually sleepwalking. They're not conscious of what they're thinking about. And when you start becoming conscious of what you're thinking about all the time, you'll realize in the back of your mind, like I did with my mentor, there's going to be a smack coming in because life is going to smack you from that. It's going to give you a little wake-up call. It's going to say, He's going to say, wake up, Meatball. It's time to start thinking correctly, feeling correctly, and believing in yourself on a spiritual level that I am a power tool. And when you grasp that with all your might, you add a little bit more feeling to it, a little bit more passion in your daily routine, and that desire that you keep implementing every day with your thought, word, and deed. Guys, life can only manifest from that. I'm living proof. There's millions of us out there that are doing it every single day. It's a process, a constant process. So if your life isn't the way you thought it would be, it's because it's the way you thought it would be. If it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to be, because you didn't want it to be. So guys, think about it for yourself, guys. America's Mentor _ on Instagram, at America's Mentor Twitter. I'm going back to bed. No, I can't. I have to go to work. At America's Mentor on Twitter, guys. Thanks for joining me today on Friday morning. Enjoy your day, guys. Remember, who are you? Who are you? When you start asking the great questions, you start getting some amazing answers. You start implementing that person that you've always wanted to be. Adding some passion, me getting up at 1 a.m. and coming on here. It's just a passion of mine. My work outside of here is a passion of mine. Find that passion and you'll find your purpose, guys. You'll start implementing the Holy Trinity the way you want. It's already set up for us. Everything's already been done for us. There's no need to figure out life anymore, guys. Life is a creation, not a destination. Think about it for yourself, guys. Happy Friday to you. I'll talk to you later.